welcome to National Focus. I'm Kimani Saint-Jean. Coming up, Commonwealth Day celebrated today under the theme, A Young Commonwealth. Village councils to be better able to respond during emergencies, and the CCJ to provide Caribbean people with increased access to justice. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories after this.
DOWASCO recognizes that clean water is vital to healthy living. Therefore, it spares no effort in providing a clean, safe, and reliable system. Help keep our rivers safe and clean. Do not cut trees along the river banks, and do not pollute with garbage, human or animal feces, and chemicals. Think water, think life.
Thank you for staying with us. Honorable Minister for Health, Dr. Kenneth Daru, says training Dominica's medical personnel is key to improving the country's healthcare system. Last week, the health minister signed a letter of intent with a visiting French delegation to work closely with two main hospitals, one each in Guadeloupe and Martinique, in the area of emergency healthcare. The Honorable Minister believes that cooperation with the French islands will facilitate government's endeavor to train healthcare providers.
As the new Minister of Health, one of the things that I will be doing is really looking intensely for areas of training for medical doctors, so that the new hospital, both the infrastructural part of it, the personnel part of it, will be 100% Dominican. Of course, we recognize that that we have our own challenges, as I said, in the area of training, resources for training. So I'm hoping that in the proximate, subsequent discussions with the Guadeloupe and the French and the Martinique authorities, that they can really exploit this area.
Honorable Daru noted that access to France's cutting-edge technology available in the two countries will prove advantageous not only to medical practitioners but the entire country. He added that in turn the French islands can also learn from Dominica's health and wellness sector. Currently under discussion is the development of a memorandum of understanding to address training and finance, tertiary care, air ambulance services, communication, and other areas of interest. The Honorable Minister for Telecommunications, Science and Information Technology, Kelva Daru, says that Dominica's accession to the appellate jurisdiction of the Caribbean Court of Justice is a bold and independent step for the nation. Honorable Daru was speaking on Focus on Government and Development last week.
Dominica's ascension to the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, is a remarkable milestone for the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I say that because we are now at a stage where we are able, as a country and as a region, to utilize the knowledge, the skills that we possess in this region, and to ensure that we are able to have justice for all. A final court of justice existing in the region that will impact significantly on the countries who are already signed on to, that is to say Guyana, Belize and Barbados, and Dominica tomorrow, and also moving to ensure that we can have a lot of information out there in terms of persons who are not satisfied with decisions taken by the courts. They can now utilize the CCJ as their final court of justice, and I think that is important.
The Honorable Minister said that government strived to be as transparent as possible in this decision.
I also want to urge the students out there as well to do their research about the Caribbean Court of Justice. Find out exactly how it can impact the countries who have signed on to it. Find out how the whole Caribbean Court of Justice, the whole idea came about. Because this is important. And students of research out there, they have to have the information. So I want to challenge the students out there, or young people, to read about the Caribbean Court of Justice. Find out the information, do the research, and inform yourselves so that you can have a better understanding as to how the court operates and the functionalities that take place within the Caribbean Court of Justice. And that is for your own good and your own knowledge.
The Honorable Minister urged the nation's youth to do their own research in order to have personal knowledge on the proceedings involved in the Caribbean Court of Justice. The Commonwealth of Dominica officially acceded to the Caribbean Court of Justice on Friday, March 6, 2015. Meantime, President of the Caribbean Court of Justice, the Right Honorable Sir Dennis Byron, says the CCJ offers Caribbean people increased access to justice. The CCJ president made the remark at a ceremony at the State House on Friday, which marked Dominica's accession to the CCJ.
This is very evident in the countries where the CCJ is already the final court. Unlike the Privy Council, ordinary folk have been bringing their cases before the Caribbean Court of Justice. It is not only governments and big business who are litigants before our court. Many cases have come from Barbados, Guyana, and Belize, where people have brought their personal, domestic, land disputes before a court for justice. And I can assure you, proudly assure you, that our court is accessible to anyone who has a legitimate dispute that is worthy of adjudication at the highest level of justice.
Sir Byron assures Caribbean people that the selection of judges to serve at the Caribbean Court of Justice is free of political interference.
The main feature of the selection process is an independent and non-partisan body, the Regional Judicial and Legal Services Commission, a commission which comprises 11 persons. The president of the Caribbean Court of Justice is ex officio chairman. None of the other commissioners are appointed by any government. They are nominated independently by institutions within our region.
Today, March 9, 2015, Dominica joined over 50 countries around the world in the observance of Commonwealth Day under the theme, A Young Commonwealth. As part of Dominica's observance, an ecumenical service was held at the Oracles of Culture. The service was attended by His Excellency President of Dominica, Charles Savre, and Mrs. Savre, government officials, as well as primary and secondary school students. The island's head of state delivered the Commonwealth Day message from Queen Elizabeth II. The message brought out the importance of dialogue in keeping mutual cooperation among Commonwealth nations.
In the Commonwealth, we are a group of 53 nations of dramatically different size and climates. But over the years, drawing on our shared history, we have seen and acted upon the huge advantages of mutual cooperation and understanding for the benefit of our countries and the people who live in them. Not only are there tremendous rewards for this cooperation, but through dialogue, we protect ourselves against the dangers that can so easily arise from a failure to talk or to see the other person's point of view.
In a message, the Queen says shared benefits in the Commonwealth is more important and worthy of protection now more than before, hence the focus on the youth.
The Commonwealth can only flourish if its ideas and ideals continue to be young and fresh and relevant to all generations. The youthfulness and vitality that motivate our collective endeavors was seen in abundance last year in Glasgow. They will be seen again in a few months' time when young leaders from islands and continents gather to make new friendships and to work on exciting initiatives that can help to build a safer world for future generations.
Students put on performances and prayers were offered for the blessing of the youth, parents, and the education system. The Commonwealth is a voluntary association of 53 independent sovereign states in Africa, Asia, the Americas, the Caribbean, Europe, and the South Pacific. Commonwealth Day is recognized on the second Monday of March every year since 1977. Village councils across the island will soon be better able to respond to emergencies. This comes as part of Phase 2 of an Australian direct aid program to enhance community capacity and preparedness. The project approved over $21,800 to procure equipment through the Dominica Association of Local Community Authorities, Inc., DALCA. Yolan John Jules is chairman of the association.
The first phase we got was more or less for the trough-affected areas, from Luce down to Cochrane, etc. That will cover the entire southwest. So we reapplied to the same institution for some more assistance because DALCA is made up of 7 districts, and we wanted to equip each district in case of an emergency. So with that amount, we purchased generators, chainsaws, and an emergency toolkit for each of the districts, that is 7 districts. Then we also, part of that funding will also be used for the fire and emergency department. You know, at the first time they got some assistance, so we also get some more assistance to assist them with, which will of course take care of emergencies in case of a disaster.
The items will be stationed at the 7 district council associations and will be accessed by neighboring councils.
In the western districts, the items will be stored at the Kulibistri Village Council. On the northern district, the items will be stored at the Vekas Village Council. On the southern districts, the items will be stored at the Pishlin Village Council. On the southeastern district, it will be stationed at the La Plaine Village Council. On the eastern district, at the Cassibrus Village Council. On the northeastern district, at the Karibishi Village Council office. And on the south, of course, the southwest, that will be at the Roseau City Council.
John Jules says the acquisition of equipment will empower the persons at the village councils to respond quickly and adequately in times of emergencies.
I know in the past in emergencies, sometimes I get a call at midnight, 11 o'clock. John Jules, you have to move now. The road is blocked from between Bourne, Dodan. And then when you reach down on the site, you see a huge landslide with a lot of trees. There's no chainsaw. So now that the chainsaw is available and it will be right in Vegas where I live, if I get a call at midnight, I can just pick up the chainsaw and move one time because I know what I'm going to look for because I'm accustomed to that in the past. And with the chainsaw is not for the village councils that we call per se. It is for the district. So the items in Vegas will cover the district from Benz back to Capuchin. The items in Karibishi will cover from Karibishi to Concord, Marigot area. And Cassibrus will cover the Carib Reserve down into Petit Soufriere area, Good Hope. And likewise, all the rest will be used in the village councils that are part of their districts.
The chairman hopes that in the near future, all the village councils will have their individual emergency kits. A handing over ceremony to present the equipment to the 7 districts is expected soon. On Sunday, March 8th, the world celebrated International Women's Day. This year, the occasion was celebrated under the theme, Make It Happen. In Dominica, the focus was on promoting gender equality and empowering women. A church service was held at the Colio Gospel Mission Church, followed by a day of sporting activities and family fun at the Colio playing field. Also, as part of the events to commemorate Women's Day, Veronica Pascal of Colio was awarded for her outstanding contributions to her community. Each year, International Women's Day is celebrated on March 8th. The first International Women's Day was held in 1911. And Dominica and Paraguay now share diplomatic relations after forging ties last Friday. A joint communique which established relations between the two countries was signed in New York by Dr. Vince Henderson, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of the Commonwealth of Dominica to the United Nations, and Federico A. Gonzalez, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of the Republic of Paraguay to the United Nations. Under the terms of the communique, the two countries expressed a desire to promote mutual understanding and strengthen friendship and cooperation between the two countries. Ambassador Henderson said on Monday that agriculture remains an area of utmost importance to Dominica, and the relations will seek to collaborate with Paraguay in that regard. Although 98 countries have now established relations with Dominica, Ambassador Henderson says Dominica should not cease to forge ties with other countries. He says Dominica should continue to pursue relations with countries on the continent of Africa. According to Ambassador Henderson, since the Dominica Labour Party took office in 2000, 40 countries have established diplomatic relations with Dominica. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is up next with Creole Highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt a défendu une décision du gouvernement pour brancher Caribbean Court of Justice comme plus gros audience pour la Dominique. Honorable Skerritt fait parole pendant la cérémonie pour te mettre Dominique en bas l'audience. Et le peuple Dominique supposé lever à yo, qu'on paye à ses premiers en OECS qui branche en bas Caribbean Court of Justice. Premier ministre Skerritt dit il était bien plaisir que ce juge là qui a ce CCJ accepté l'invitation pour célébrer et puis Dominique. Il dit ça fait justice pour le peuple Dominique qui est bien significant et bien l'audience Caribbean Court of Justice. Dominique qui a habilité taper justice moins cher bagay en parmi d'autres qui sont en l'intérêt ailleurs. Premier ministre a dit Dominique a aussi positionné pour attirer plus d'investissement ou entrer en pays là si l'on mange neuf salaire. En autre nouvelle, le ministre de l'Agriculture a appelé assistance Hot BAM pour supporter le programme de production coco. Parole celle-là sur le permanent secrétaire, ministre de l'Agriculture Harold Gist, un workshop bon standard qualité pour production commodité salaire pour place en Dominique semaine passée.
BAM c'est un projet banana company measures en bas projet ça là il l'argent pour gagner matériaux équipement ba labourer ba habitants monde qui a planté cacao pour ça prune cacao pour ça cultiver bien parce que il cacao si piato vieux il va pas produire bien encore ça on pour faire c'est on pour couper quoi que c'est ça pruning là couper il va renouveler quoi il va avoir un bel crop parce que nous ni ça aussi nous aussi on facilite quoi que ça un mist irrigation system propagation system avec ça c'est en place pour ça planter cacao mais au pas pour maintenant au capon on quand couper un petit morceau au quand mettre en terre au cas où il y avait un système ça là il a produit racine.
Gis fait parole bon standard que résultat haute qualité production.
Comme ça là où fait comme ça au cas d'après qui au cas certain qui qualité cacao là c'est ça au cas taper. Sous fait avec gwen la différents insectes ou comment venir yo pollinate ou adapter n'importe quel terrain pour passer ça on est comme ça c'est pour ça nous avons fait comme ça il y a l'autre en l'autre façade bagaille ça là c'est on créer ça en coco sweating house c'est ça a coûté $280,000 pour faire sweating house ça là comme ça c'est un bagage qui bien cher c'est un bagage qui first class comme ça nous avons bien préparé pour nous ça produit Kako Dominique qui a goûté bon qui a senti bon en néon c'est un bagage monde qui veut boire monde qui veut gagner et qui attrape le monde d'autres pays aussi à la market Europe United States c'est place ça là comme ça nous avons essayé produire un bon produit.
En notre nouvelle, conseil TIVET établi pour manœuvrer divers programmes en Dominique. Selon officier Merrill Matthew, yon di yo ses affaires l'État. Programme ça là qu'a conduit en Dominique pour 2 semaines.
Dans ces gens qui ont participé à training ça, nous avons State College, nous avons l'école secondaire, nous avons private sector et puis nous avons des gens Antigua qui vivent à Antigua et puis training ça pour trainer les aussi. Parce que ce n'est pas une initiative State College, c'est une initiative TIVET Council à Dominique. TIVET Council établi pour avis pour Ministry Education pour savoir comment pour manœuvrer vocational education en pays. Comme ça, nous regardons TIVET Council a dit nous besoin master trainer en Dominique. Comme ça, à nous travaillons un projet pour ça trainer ces gens.
Mais il faut faire parole plaisir pour un programme ça là.
Nous travaillons projet l'argent qui a sorti ça y a créé c'est CARICOM Education for Employment et puis c'est eux qui a fondé projet ça comme ça nous bien contents puis Dominique Kaini master trainer pour quoi comme ça nous a conduit tout training assessor à Dominique.
Et puis finalement, le ministre agriculture qui travaille et puis habitant pour tissue plans qui a sorti en France. Parole ça là sorti en quarantine Ryan Ansem fait parole qui se plan ça là qui est bien certifié avant habitant ça recevoir.
So encore nous les 10 moun c'est pas plan. C'est pas plan nous pour notre fond, c'est pas un gros plan, c'est petit plan qui en dans tubes avec yo ka mettre yo dans nutrition et gars pour yo profiter avec yo venir nous pour ça quoi que anglais win yo qu'on ou ka faire bitin tomate nous pour mettre yo en tray pour yo venir gros then nous ka harden yo nous ka mettre yo dans en gros sac pour harden yo then nous ka passer planter à ces plants ça là so encore programme ça là nous qui travailler avec Fair Trade Farmers en Cassie Bruce avec Calibichi en place irrigation so encore nous avons un programme, il y a des gens qui ont dit nous pas un programme, nous pas savent ça nous faire. Nous avons un programme pour nous garder comment nous avons contre Black Sigatoka, c'est un integrated pest management programme.
Monsieur Ansem Kakui à ses habitants pour suivre bon standard à ces l'occasion ailleurs.
C'est pas seulement mettre un knapsack en les dos avec spray. On peut faire des lifins là, ça va créer sanitation. On peut tirer toutes ces feuilles là, toutes ces weeds là, drainage, mat control, toutes ces bagailles ça là, avec nutrition pour nous garder comment nous contrôler les Black Sigatoka.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up next, a tip to stay active even while at work.
If you can believe this, why can't you believe this?
Uncle tried to make me have sex.
Some mothers don't believe their own children when they say they've been sexually abused, and they don't report it. Remember, if anyone asks to see or touch their private parts, touches them inappropriately, shows them or forces them to touch one's private parts, has sex with them, shows them pornographic material, or deliberately lets them hear or see the act of sex, then it is sexual abuse. Believe your child and report the sexual abuse. For more information about child abuse, contact these agencies. This message brought to you by UNICEF and this station.
New research confirms that spending long hours sitting down during commuting and working can play a significant role in the development of chronic disease. Simple things like walking across the hall to talk to a co-worker instead of sending an email, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, parking your car further away from the entrance, or taking a longer roundabout way to your desk can prevent this. Here's another definite thing you can do. Organize the layout of your office space in such a way that you have to stand up to reach files, the phone, or your printer, rather than having everything within easy reach. Ideally, you'll want to stand up at least once every 10 minutes or more. So simply moving one or more things you frequently reach for could allow you to build this kind of movement into your regular work day. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow us on Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Desk, I'm Kimani. Thank you so much for watching.